Oh, hey, what's up? Well, just doing a little disc brake conversion. Trying to, anyway. Um, Beautiful day here in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. I mean, 60 something degrees, like 68 this morning. Beautiful. I think the high today's maybe 70, 72. Love it. I got the doors open in the garage. Life's good. So, I started looking around trying to find my wheel bearing packer. And because I got to pack some new bearings, and I've looked and looked, and I remember seeing it. I don't know what the hell I did with it. So I'm going to teach you how to pack bearings in the palm of your hand. That's how the old timers taught me. Now I'm going to show you. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to. So I imagine it's probably underneath all that junk. My shop's a mess again. I mean, it's hard to keep up. When you get done with working on whatever project you're doing, you're just done. You're ready to go to bed. So, got a mess. It's probably underneath all that crap, but I'm not going to spend time trying to find it right now. I want to try to work on the disc brake conversion today. So, let me get this camera set up and I'll show you how to pack some bearings. Alright, normally I don't wear gloves when I pack bearings, but I don't feel like getting real messy. So, oh, sorry if I'm yelling. I forgot I have a mic on now. I keep forgetting. I've been trying new cameras. Some of the cameras, the mics don't work. Some of the cameras, the mic does work, but it's low on memory. I'm struggling. Oh, we'll get some gloves on. I already got the bearings out here. It comes with the bearings come with new races, and well, we don't need them because the rotor already has them. So, even though it's a brand new rotor, I still like to spray brake clean or carb clean. Make sure you ain't got none of that machined metal worked on the rotor. So basically, I just take some carb cleaner, clean it out, make sure it's nice and clean. That rag, I'll wipe out the. Oh, better not put that there. Dry it up with the rag. Also, whenever I get done doing the brake job, anytime you get new rotors, the factory puts a oily residue on there to keep it from rusting. So before you even take off, make sure you spray all that crap off with brake clean, because your brakes won't stop very good if you don't get that off of there. All right, let's rock and roll. Oh, usually I already ripped my glove already. I'll take a little bit of grease, start out palm of my hand, and then I'll just start pushing it in the palm of my hand. So I'll take the bearing. I don't know if you can see. Let me swing over here. So you got the bearing here. You want to push that grease in the palm of your hand like that, and just keep working it, and it's going to ooze out the top. And then the excess right there, just take it back out, put it back in the palm of your hand, just keep working it. And then as you're doing it, just keep going around and around. So I'm going to push a little in, go around. Just keep going around until you start seeing it push out the other end. That way you know you got all the air out of it, and it's nice and packed full of grease. See how it's already, my camera's trying to focus on my hand, not the bearing, but you can see the grease right there starting to push out. Get that excess out, put it back in my palm. There it is. See how it's pushed out? Spin it around. Just keep doing that all the way around. Oh, need a little more. Sorry, keep getting too close to the camera. Oh, that's how you do it. And then I just use that extra grease, and I just put it on the outside of the bearing. Just rub it all the way around. And the extra, just stick it down in the cavity of your rotor. I'll take a little bit more grease, a little bit more, put it down in the cavity. I like to have a little extra grease in the bearing, or the cavity of the rotor, and just put that dude right in there. I just kind of just get the rest of it off. Wipe that off so we can get our wheel seal put on. Oh, I gotta go get my little hammer, my little pecker. All right, so on the wheel seal, you see how that is? I just slowly tap it around like that, make it nice and even and seat it in. If I can put you up a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'll usually take that excess grease, put it down there. I'll just seat it in like that. Just slowly work my way around, make sure it's going in even. Just like that. So it's flush with the rotor itself. Okay, now we'll flip it over. Now we'll pack our other bearing. And you do it the same way. All right. More grease. I'll take a big old chunk of that, and I'll do that in a minute. So go ahead and pack it in. Little one don't take very long at all. So this extra grease I'll put down in the cavity of the rotor. Now this little bearing, I usually stick my finger in it, and then none of the grease pops through the middle. Yep, that's nicely packed. So now we'll rub some grease around the bearing. Take that excess grease and stick it down in the cavity of your rotor. That side is done. Since we're not putting this on yet, I'll just take a little rag, put over it, keep the little dust and the bugs from flying in it until we're ready for it. Put my cap back on here. Let's just get some new gloves. So now we're going to go over to the front of the Charger, and let's tear that old drum system out of there, and let's get our new spindle and rotor all put on. Grab a little pecker. We need that. Maybe some rags. Da, da, da. Alright, I'm going to put a little jack underneath here. Keep that lower arm from, because when we take the spindle off, that lower arm's going to try to drop. It shouldn't be underneath a lot of pressure, but I'm going to go ahead and put it underneath there just so it doesn't drop too much. Let's take a little of that tension off of there. I may go up a little, put a little pressure on there. There we go. Oh, trying to lift the car up. I don't want to lift the car up. About like that. All right. Now we're going to pull the drum off. Lay out a paper towel just to put my bearings on there. Give me a flathead screwdriver, knock off my cap. I just packed these bearings about 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this. I mean, I'm never going to put it back on. I'm hoping that I do hope, I want to measure. I'm hoping these brake shoes will work for the rear, because I got to, and the wheel cylinder. The wheel cylinders are leaking on the back, and so I need to get new brake shoes. That'd be sweet if these match up. Not, then I got to get new brake shoes. So if you ever want to get your old seal out, like you're changing your wheel seal right here, if you're changing that out, a little trick that the old timers taught me is, which we're not going to knock this one out because I'm going to keep it all complete, but you just put your nut back on there a little bit like that, and slide it up there like that, and then slam it like that, and it'll pop the wheel bearing out and the seal. But we're going to keep this all complete. That way it can go sit in a corner somewhere and never ever be used. Because I'm a hoarder, don't get rid of nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna, oh yeah, we can, when we take this off, we'll screw those together. So we'll just move that to the side. Actually, I'm just gonna put this cap over it to keep the crap out of the bearings. I'm gonna sit on my butt because that hurts my ankle. Huh. Spring popped loose sometime over the years. That's just your... All this is for each time you put on the brake, it will, as it gets closer to the drum, this right here is supposed to help sit there and adjust it. But we need this out of the way anyway to get to that bolt. There's Carter pins on the back. We need to take the Carter pins out of there. Oh, it's hurting my ankle. All right. There it is. But we're not saving these Carter pins because, you know, they're 50-something years old. You don't need them. We got new ones. We'll put new ones in. So the new system, instead of Carter pins, it's actual lock nuts. So we won't have Carter pins back there again. So these are 15, 16. You know, I forgot to turn the air compressor on. 15, 16 front and back. So I got me a 15/16 wrench to go on the back. And then it's these two bolts. We'll zip these out. We can probably, we need to take the Carter pin out for the top upper ball joint. Okay, sorry, sucker. I think that's a 7/8. Go ahead and break her loose. Let's see which way. Counterclockwise, coming towards me. Alright, so now we'll loosen this upper ball joint bolt or nut. We'll back it off all the way to the end, but we'll leave it on there because we got to break this upper control arm loose. Very long-winded one, dude. Come on. And we got to be careful. Try not to bust our boot on the upper bearing. What am I saying? Ball joint. Upper ball joint. I really don't want to break the boot. I'll have to be easy with it. Let me hit the spindle first and just see if it'll break loose. Nope. It's got to get the fork in there. Sure, it's not breaking the boot. Oh, hey, there we go. Good deal. We didn't break the boot. The upper control arm is loose. Taking the nut off now. Now we have to reuse this nut for upper ball joint, so I'll just put that nut back on there so we don't lose it. Okay, we will turn our air compressor on. This thing, that whole assembly should be ready to come out once I get them 2 bolts off. And I wish it could stay 60, mid 60s, low 70s all year round. That's the idea weather there, because I mean, it's comfortable enough where you can work. You're not sweating your freaking butt off. Oop, need to get over here. Okay, I think it's 15, 16, so we need the wrench. That's 7/8. You put your, I can't, I'm like brain dead today. I don't know why. I got enough sleep. Maybe that was the problem. I got too much sleep when I normally don't. All right, so 15/16 wrench on the back, and then socket over here and zip this dude off. Okay. You got to put those in your keepsake. Never know when you may need them for something. Another future project. There we go. We'll probably just put this back on. Keep this knuckle and stuff all together. I'll just put this nut back on there. I don't even know if you guys see what I'm doing. Hope you can. I'm just putting the old bolts that hold the spindle on, because we got new bolts, so we don't need the old ones. Oh, there's our assembly. You know, look at them brake shoes. I put those on when I was 16. They're still looking good. And I think they're lifetime. If they can find the record on them. And the wheel cylinders, but you know how part stores are. They're like, well, I ain't got a phone number, so it's not lifetime no more. I was like, yeah, I don't remember the phone number I had when I was 16. They only keep your information in the system so long. All right, why is that not going on there? Yeah, mess with that later. Out of the way. We can get this done. I figure once I get this all on here, I'll probably clean everything, some brake clean, and spray some black paint on it, just to keep it somewhat from getting that surface rust on everything. And we'll grease the front end when we're all done too. This front end is super tight. I replaced this front end when I was 16, when I worked at Safety Brake and Muffler. That is no longer around no more. That's who taught me how to do all my mechanic work. What is that? A washer? Huh. Where did that come from? Or if it came backside of this bolt. Huh? I don't see nothing. Oh yeah, it had a washer. I don't know where the the other washer went. Okay. What are we doing now? We gotta go get our new spindle. Okay, so our new spindle should be right here. There's the new stuff. Get the old Milwaukee knife out. That. There's the new bolts. Okay. Then our trash pile. There's our new spindle. This is our caliber bracket. This is our spindle. Looks like Pinocchio. I am a real boy. Not today, buddy. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Nice. That dude will go on like that. Bracket should go on something. It goes on the back side. And it goes on like that. Okay. Oh, get on there. Okay, got that started. I think my other bolts are up here. Yeah, here they are. Here's our new bolts. Okay. It goes something like that. Oh, I hit my head right on the fender. Got a sunburn from watching Ruby's soccer game out in the sun. Didn't think to put sunscreen on till after. Get that little tap. Okay. Got our lock nuts here. Go ahead and screw them on. I wonder if I need to push it. Oh yeah, I can push that down. Okay. So take that nut back off of the upper ball joint so we can move that in position. Push that down. There we go. Get our nut back on there. Okay. Guess we can tighten this up. These are tight, so I'm just gonna impact the shit out of it. They're a big bolt. They're not gonna break. Let's tighten her up. Go to the other side a little bit before we get too crazy with it. Okay, go back to the other side. Try this side one more time. Make sure it ain't moving. tight. 3/4 for the back. Caliber bracket. We'll tighten her up. I guess I can bring you over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. The caliber brackets right here. The 2 bolts are right here. You can see it. You're going to pop out this end and then, or right here and here. So, 3/4. Let's tighten it up. And then these are the 2 bolts that we tightened up 15/16. We're going to tighten up our upper ball joint. So that'd be 7/8. Okay. Let me turn the wheel just a little bit. That way, get away from that shock so I can tighten this upper bolt. This one I'm going to tighten by hand because I don't want to use the impact and break it since it is a smaller bolt. Of course, my directions that I have with this kit doesn't say anything about torque. The only thing it says about torque is your anti-rattle clips is 200 inch-pounds. That's the only torque specs there are in this kit. Its instructions are horrible. I mean, if you're not mechanically inclined, then you may not understand a lot of this crap. Oh, I just break my ratchet. Oh, it slipped off. I think I broke my ratchet. Oh, I broke my socket. Look at that. You know, I can't believe that. I don't know if you can see that. It just shattered on me. You know, I have had these since I was 14. This set. Wow, that's crazy. Well, at least I didn't break the bolt. Alright, so we need a 3/4. I don't need a deep weld anyway, so we'll go get a 3/4. I guess I'll have to go to Ace Hardware in Pea Ridge. See if they can exchange it for me. They're a Craftsman dealer. They sell Craftsman tools, so I'm hoping they can exchange it for me. I have never, ever broke a socket like that by hand. Now, I broke them using an impact when it says clearly do not use impact. I think everybody's done that. Alright, that's tight enough. Alrighty, now what are we doing? Okay, we got to tighten up our upper ball joint. 7/8. There we go. We're about to our hole now. Trying to tighten it where we can get the Carter pin in. A little bit of a gap right there, but it pulled up on the ball joint all the way. Seems like it should be resting up there a little bit better, but I guess after we run this a little bit, we'll check everything, make sure everything's still good. I need some Carter pins. Alright, so I can get my Carter pin in. Cut the excess off here. Get my little pecker. Get that garter pin knocked in further. Cut the X off again. I can't even talk. The extra off. Excess off. There we go. Sheesh. It took me 10 years to say it. Say it, don't spray it. Okay. That was a lot harder than what it should have been. Oh man, why can I not turn this thing? That is stiff steering. I'm going to turn it all the way a little bit like that so I can get the caliber on. Alright, so we need to go get our rotor. Get this off of here. And we'll put some, I like to put grease on the spindle. Actually, I like to wipe the spindle off first. Make sure there's no crud and stuff on it. And we'll put some grease right here on the spindle. Let's get some grease on the a little grease right there. Okay. Alright, let's slide our rotor on. Try to get it pushed back as far as it'll go. We got our new washer. There's our new nut. Right there. Oh, this nut is an oddball size. On my kit, you think it'd be 1 inch and 1/16, but it's not. It's like a, what was it, a metric 27. So tighten that up. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to, can't remember what they actually call it. Preload, or I think it's preload. You basically want to tighten your, when it's all new like this, you want to tighten all this up, sandwich it in. Like I said, I don't have any good directions on this, so I'm going to do it. I was taught you're not going to hurt it if you do it this way. You don't have to do it this way. I normally can tighten these down with my, where is it, my crescent. Where the heck is it? Oh. Usually I'll take my pliers and I can usually tighten it down, and I tighten it the piss out of it so it seats everything, because you want to make sure it's seated all the way, your bearings are seated when everything's new like this, and then you'll back it back off. The old timers taught me to set your torque wrench at 100 pounds and you torque it down to 100 pounds. All right, here's the click. You're at 100 pounds. You know, you're not going to be able to turn it because it's too tight, but what you're doing is you're seating everything so it's nice and tight how it's supposed to be. Everything's supposed to ride how it is. And then you'll break it loose. Loosen it all the way back up till your nuts loose like this. That's when I get my pliers again. And then, as soon as you get just a little resistance, so right there, it's starting to have a little resistance. I'll spin it a few times forward, A few times backwards. Get that grease moving around in there. And go back forward a couple times. Alright, now you'll see it's already loosened up just since I've done that. So now you'll snug it up. So as soon as you feel a little resistance, then I'll give it just a little turn, a little extra turn, not much. Because you're going to think, oh, that's too tight, but once you drive this around, you'll come back and that'll be loosened up. That's how the old timers taught me. I haven't had any problems ever doing it that way, and I'm going to keep doing it like that until I see different. Like if I see it screw something up, but I've never had a problem. I figure them old timers know what they're talking about. They've been doing it longer than I have. Okay. I'm probably going to swing these up like this. Normally I just bend this one up, and then I cut the other one off, but this one I'm going to go do it a different way. I'm going to twist them this way. And you can just take your little hammer and I'm going to cut the excess off of that one though. The only reason why I'm doing it this way, so when you go put that dust cap on, I've seen some of these end up rubbing in the middle of the dust cap. So if you do it this way, you won't have to worry about it. Nice and loose still. I do got to find the dust cap. What do I do with that dust cap? Oh, there it is. Kind of like the wheel bearing. You'll hit around the edge. Try not to hit right here because you'll just cave it in. So you kind of want to hit on your edge. I wonder if I can. This cap's not wanting to go on very good. They only have a couple little nipples in it. I'm almost thinking I need to take this cap off and where's that old one? Gotta show you. I usually have a lot more. There's a lot more little dimples right here for it to catch to. They only had 4. Almost thinking in between the 4, maybe put a couple of dents. You can take a punch. You can take not a punch, actually what I use is a tap, a pointy tap. You can take a pointy tap and stick it in there and smack it with a hammer, and it'll put a little groove in there. Then do that on each one. I don't even know where the camera is, right there. And then tighten it up. So we still got a little ways to go. We can mess with that later. We'll just leave the cap on there. I mean, it's on there, but I don't like the way it's sitting. I like mine to be on there a little closer. We'll mess with that later. Let's get our caliper on. Where is our caliper? Caliper's over there. Okay, so these got... Actually, I think we'll use the new caliper stuff. Oh, shit. Got ahead of myself. Sure did. I got to put our backing plate on. So let's put our backing plate on real quick. Duh. Got ahead of myself. You don't have to have a backing plate on it. Actually, the directions actually don't even mention putting a backing plate on. But I'm going to put a backing plate on just because it kind of keeps the road debris off your rotor. Okay, pliers. So this is going to be preloaded now, so it won't be no problem to. So we gotta get this stuff there. Yeah. All right. So this goes on like this, like so. We'll put that on there. Good thing I noticed that. I even put the backing plate right there so I wouldn't forget. But I think I forgot. I just got lucky, I guess. They don't need to be real tight. Just the backing. Actually, it's just this one. These other ones are snug. All right. Got that back on. Get this back on there. So watch your backing plate when you put it on. I did the other side already. And when I went to spin it, it was dragging on the bottom. So I had to take me a little screwdriver and pry the backing plate and the rotor away. So make sure you watch that or you'll have your backing plate ate up into your rotor. All right, so I'll show you how I do it with just this instead of a torque wrench, but I still do almost like 100 foot-pounds. Get it nice and tight. Loosen it up. As soon as I get a little resistance, I just give it just a little turn. It don't take much. There we go. Okay. We'll pry these up again. Like I said, I only do cotter pins this way just so I know the dust cap doesn't get ate up in the dust cap. Oh, you can see the nipple there now. So there's nipple there. There's only 4 nipples on there. I guess we can try it since we already got it off. See if we can get this thing tighter. Anvil here. That's what I'm talking about. You can get a tap if you ever need to make a good center punch. This is the best center punch in the world. Because it's sharp as hell. And you know, when you're doing a center punch, you're just really tapping it. You're not getting crazy with it, so you'll never break it or screw this up. Best punch ever. Alright. So in between our notches, let's put Actually, probably ought to go over to the cone area where it's rounded. We're just going to put a little dent in there. If I can possibly do it. My hands are kind of greasy. Oh, there we go, see? We got factory ones. And we just made a little dent right there. That usually will tighten it up because what you're doing is you're distorting the metal and it's spreading it out a little bit, so it has basically, it makes a kind of a lip for something to grab to. Oh, we'll do 4 of them, try it out, see if it helps. Ugh. It will or it won't. Alright, how many times am I going to drop that? I got them though. Alright. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Alright. Still not 100% better, but it's better. I like it. I can deal with that. We may play with it later. Man, I doubt it's going to come off, so. Okay. Oh, there ain't nothing in there. These clips, the directions show not how, you know, there's 2 different ways you can do these clips. Actually, 3 different ways that you can install these clips. And the picture is horrible. That's your, get up here, so get off my damn knees. I'm on my knees, I'm not even getting a raise out of it. This is the directions they give you. It doesn't show you how the clip's actually supposed to be. These are the anti-rattle clips. Well, there's 3 different ways you can put it on. And I played around with it. So I'm just guessing. But I like the way it looks better. Looks like it would actually work this way, so this is the way I'm going to do it. But anyhow, I'll show you how to put these clips on. I don't know if it's the right way or not. If anybody knows, let me know. I've done brakes my whole life, but I have never came across a set like this. I heard it's pretty common in like the 90s vans and stuff that have it. All right, so, and they got these stupid rubber bands, and then they go on here like so. So these rubber bands, they're going across like this. And the directions do say the rubber bands that are on here, after you drive it, they will probably break, but your brake pads are up against, your brake pad is rubbing up against it and your caliper, so wherever the caliper and brake pad's sitting, the rubber band piece should stay there. That's what they're saying in the directions. This whole rubber band crap, I'm not buying it. But we'll put it on like it says. Oh yeah, so now on your brake pad, we'll have to go back to the anvil again and tighten this up. So see that gap right there? That's got to be tightened up. So let's go do that now. before we get too far ahead. So we got our rubber bands on our caliber for the anti-squeak crap. So the GM did have the same setup like this. GM had brake pads that had play like that. See how they, and so I am familiar with this type of system, but GM's never had that much of a gap. I mean, that's almost a 1/4 inch gap. Crazy. So the trick is you got to close the gap off. So you have to knock this in. You'll put it on an anvil or something solid. You're hitting these down. You're bending them down. On GM, they're so close, I would take my pair of pliers and I would bend it just a little bit. And they were almost right on the money if you took it and bent it a little. But since there's a 1/4 inch gap here, we're going to have to knock a lot. It's going to have to go, we're going to have to bend the crap out of it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Let's check it. Okay, this side's pretty close. It's snug. You can see this side's already snug. This side still needs a little. So we need to knock this one down just a little bit more. There we go. All right, so now they're tightening up. You'll put the bottom in first and then try to push it in because you want it tight. So that's tight enough. So we'll put some of our backing anti-squeak stuff medicine on it, and then we'll push these on all the way and I'll show you. So let's go back over here. Where's my anti-squeak medicine? This is my quieter stuff. I've used this shit forever. You just put a little dab on there, like so. I like to get generous with it. Rub it all on there like that. This one needs to come off. We need to do the same thing here. This will help with the squeaking. Done. Wipe the excess off my glove. Okay, so this one is for your piston side. So this one goes, you can go ahead and put this one in. It just sits right in there like that. Nothing special. All right. This is the one we had to bend into shape. So now we'll try to wiggle that in there. Probably take my little hammer and just kind of tap it into place. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. Get on there. I'm trying to hit the metal, not the pad. You hit the pad, you'll end up breaking the pad. All right, that's closed off. That's it. See how that stays in there now? And that's ready to go on. So the caliber will just sit on there like so. This is where the anti-squeaky clips come into play that I have messed with yesterday. And I have determined that it's this way. You know, I'm going to go up to the camera. I'll show you. See what you guys think. See if I'm thinking right or not. Okay. Here's our clips. So when I push when I put the anti-clip this way, nipples up, and these are supposed to, I think, rest on your one brake pad on the piston side. So when you rest that on there, see that hole lines up. Come on, focus. Holds the hole lines up, but if you put it on the back side, because I tried it different ways, put it on the back side, now your hole doesn't line up. So that tells me no matter what, and you can't turn it the other way, it doesn't go that way, it can't go this way either. So you're pretty much, for the holes to line up and everything, it sits like that. Alright. Now I've tried it on the caliber this way, because these nipples fit perfect in the rotor, or the caliber, and I was thinking, man, maybe that's how it's supposed to be, but now this part sits up. And I was like, well, that don't make sense, because this is like a spring. So then I tried it the other way, flip it this way. It doesn't ride right. The only place I can see is to do it this way with that. And when you tighten it down, this part will go down, and then it's like a spring. It's like keeping tension on the caliber the whole time. So I'm thinking that's how it's supposed to be. We're going to try it that way. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm putting it this way. Nipples up. And then that part like this, so it'd be nipple. Oh, how did I get that all over my finger? Oh, got a little too much on there. All right, where were we? I need to get light. You guys need to see the light. All right, so nipples up. That piece in there, that's what I'm guessing. Put my bolt in. Put it in. This is where it says 200 inch-pounds. Not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. I did have it out the other day. There it is. Okay. So I got this set at 200 already. Well, we don't need to tighten that up yet. Let's do our bottom one. Our bottom one's going to be the same way. Nipple out. That piece down. Just like so. This has got to be the silliest setup I've ever seen. I'm going to use this is a 1/2 inch wrench again. I'm going to just snug it by hand real quick, and then I'll use the torque. It is so silly looking. I can't believe this. I can't believe Mopar would do something like this. Alright, so tighten it up. Alright, that's 200 right there. Like I said, this is the only part that gave me actually directions. The only part on the directions on torquing is the caliber bolt. So that's 200 there, 200 there. Alright. Well, supposedly that's how you do it. You know, I'm still a little bit of ways from actually driving it, so I'm going to do some more research, make sure that that's right. That's the best way I could see it working. All the other ways don't work worth a crap. I'm going to bring you over here closer. I'm not sure if you're seeing it, but so anti-rattle clips from Mopar, and it is a ridiculous setup. Do not like it. So that's how I'm putting them on. Like I said, I'm still not confident that's the correct way. I'm gonna probably do some more research. Like I said, the directions that you show right here are absolutely horrible. Don't tell you crap. It does show you the O-ring put on there, and it does tell you that the O-ring will break after using. But I don't know, guys. Not happy with that setup. But as long as it works, I guess that's all that matters. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so obviously they know what they're doing, I hope. All right, so our next step is we got to pull our old master cylinder off and our booster. We got to get these brake hoses on. I didn't want to put the brake hoses on quite yet, but I could probably put them on now. They don't hurt nothing. So that's all we got for part one. We'll call this part one. But I did get the other side done. Did it the same way. Like these clips are just killing me. The anti-rattle clip bullshit. Come on, guys. You got to have a better setup than that. I'll look online and see if I can find something. Maybe they got like an aftermarket setup that you can bypass that shit and have something better. I don't know. But I guess if it works, it don't matter. I just not happy with that. Not happy with that at all. All right, so we're going to call this part one of disc brake conversion. We got our disc brakes, our old drums off. Right there, gone. We got our new rotors on, done. Next step, taking old mash cylinder off, putting our new portioning valve in, new dual mash cylinder and booster. And then we have to go inside the charger, underneath, and put the bracket system in for the foot pedal. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out. If anybody knows about these clips, give me a comment, or if you know a link to somebody who's done some of these, let me know. All right. Peace out.